Hello, I am Tathan Talks, and this is BFLEIR 13. What if Grassblock survived instead of Hardlocket? Now, a couple things I always have to mention before one of these what ifs. First of all, the format of the video is a little bit strange, like it will always be. And second of all of this is without a script because I only do scripts for the more in-depth videos. And this what if is honestly pretty simple. So with that out of the way, let us get into this. And yes, and because there is no script, I apologize in advance for any stuttering. All right, let's get into this. So, as you can see, Heartlocket is now out instead of Grassblock. That is the whole point of the what if. So Heartlocket is now in Grassblock's placement, and Grassblock is still in the game. This is our current cast as of episode 13. I should also mention, apologies if you hear any background noise. There's nothing I can do about that. Anyways, so the challenge in episode 13 was the one where they all travel off to California. So that the first part of the challenge is packing a suitcase. And obviously, Noob still loses because he is currently with Blue Apple. And the next part is, I believe it was, this is the beatboxing part. And usually Nati would be the one who doesn't beatbox here, but I feel like it's more in character for Grassblock to be the one who doesn't want to do it. You could make an argument that both Nati and Grassblock don't beatbox, but in the actual episode, nobody beatboxes. Nati loses because he just straight out doesn't do it. So he's the one who loses that challenge, therefore nobody else actually needs to beatbox. So Grassblock would be like, I don't want to voice act, or what? What am I saying? Sorry, apologies. I don't want to beatbox, so he would lose, and then everyone else would be fine to go another day. Anyway, next part. Cool Glasses is still out for collecting rent money. That was a little joke inside the episode. And then I do believe next is, yes, the plane crash. So, the plane crashes, and now everyone is stuck in the forest. That still happens. Grassblock, he can't save the plane, obviously. So these green lines, I do believe I surely I must have mentioned them in the last what if. These represent the groups that are together currently in this forest. So it is Joe and Carrot and Naughty and Banana, like it usually is. Joe still ditches Carrot and ends up finding Sans, but he has no idea who Sans is. So Sans ends up helping him as a cover because without Heartlocket, he doesn't overhear their conversation because it is just Sans by himself. He would not be discussing anything if he is alone. So, yes, now, so Sans is currently helping Joe. Egg Mascot still kills Banana because Egg Mascot is, he was with Naughty and Banana. And Carrot still wins with help from Piss Bucket. Nothing there changes. But Joe actually wins now with the help from Sans. So that is our second big difference there. So now we go to the elimination. First of all, yes, Cool Glasses would win the prize, so he gets to turn red, just like Heartlocket did originally, but of course Heartlocket isn't here anymore. And then the person eliminated, first of all, it's a tie. Candy Cane would vote for Noob, Cool Glasses for Grassblock. You can see. I mean, I'm not going to go in depth and explain all the arrows. You can take a look. Notably, Grassblock votes for himself, as he doesn't even want to be in the competition. So, because he doesn't want to be in the competition, I'm sure you can see where this is going. He obviously throws the tiebreaker challenge and is eliminated from the game. So, already, there goes our one big difference. So now, instead of the big twist being that Grassblock is in the game, it's really now that Cool Glasses is in the game, because originally Cool Glasses was out. So you may be thinking now, how is this any different from the last what if? Because it's Cool Glasses survives again. Well, basically, instead of Heart Locket being there, Banana's now there. And because Banana is still there, he wins the challenge like normal. Because he, dies and becomes Watermelon. So he still wins the challenge. And then, oh yes, the rejoin. Yes. Like I said in the last What If, no matter who wins here, they would obviously not want Cletus Donut to come back. Right? Because Nathan would definitely not want to allow that. Had still rejoins, of course. I don't see why that would change. Notably, Heart Locket gets a lot of, well, I say a lot, but 3 gets quite a good bit of votes, even though she was eliminated quite early. Quite recently, I mean, not early, quite recently eliminated. So, Hat is now back in the game, and Flushed is now being visualized. He was always in the cast. So, next challenge, the episode 15 challenge, is a race. But first, Cool Glasses wins the prize because, again, just like the last What If, Lyrical was the only one to participate. Well, he was the main one to participate in the spam voting, so he would go for Cool Glasses over Carrot, I believe. Banana is here, so that means we actually get pairs this time, because he says the thing to Sammy, and then he's like, "Oh well, I'll give you guys pairs if you think it's so easy." Notably, some pairs are affected by the alphabetical placements of the names, because I can only assume, technically there's no proof of this, but I like to believe that Sammy input the names of the contestants into the randomizer in alphabetical order. So because of the way the TV, or I don't know, like the monitor, I guess, generated the duos, some of them would be affected. Like, for example, Wacky Sammy is now with Naughty, and, well, I think that was all. No. I do believe. No, this was always the case. What am I talking about? Right? Yeah, no, this was always the case, I believe. I think so. Yeah, okay. What changed then? Oh, yes. Of course, yes. Flip-a-Clip logo is now with Flushed. What other ones? Oh yeah, Carrot is actually participating now, so he gets Funny Thanos beatbox stone, of course. And yes. Okay, let's move on. So first attempt still brings Hat to the end. Yes. And Joe and Nadi use the hoverboard, but Wacky Sammy, see this is why I was confused. I was remembering this part. Wacky Sammy taunts Flushed, so Flip-a-Clip logo locks in, and he actually pushes Wacky Sammy off of the hoverboard instead of, usually it's thumbs up that gets pushed off, I believe. So Joe and Flushed win because Wacky Sammy is pushed off and Naughty has to go back. You can notice here he actually doesn't take any damage from the fall, because Naughty is actually made of a very strong material, which you may be thinking, oh, but he gets cracked a lot. That is only from, if he's cracked once, which is really hard to do, he becomes very fragile. But currently he is not cracked at all in the show. Well, in this iteration of the show. I mean, even in the original, he's not cracked at the time, so he would have survived any fall. So yes. So you may be thinking, who gets purged out here? Because the last one to make it to the end gets automatically eliminated, and, well, it's still the same, of course. Noob still ends up with Piano Zombie, which means he is purged out of the game and is eliminated, so there we go. And, yeah, that's about it for this What If. Not a big change. Really, the only difference is that Heart Locket is gone and that Cool Glasses is now here. So not the most interesting What If, but I have to do one for every... Well, I don't have to. It's just what I like to do. I'm doing... I'm affecting all of the eliminations and seeing how they will all turn out. So this one was less interesting, but the next one will certainly be the most interesting so far. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this What If. Again, it wasn't too interesting, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.